Hi guys, it's Dr. Denny over at Four Closet Fulshire Veterinary Clinic, and today Maddie and I are going to be chatting about what to do if you notice your cat has had a change in behavior. So Maddie's going to start us off with some questions.
Dr. Denny, what should I do if I notice a sudden change in my cat's behavior?
You should call your veterinarian. Call me. Let's get an appointment because any change in behavior can mean that something is going on. Okay, so you know your cat. If it's a kitten and you're seeing a sudden change in behavior, like maybe your kitten's been like all sassy and spicy and like getting little kitty zoomies and zoom zoom, and then all of a sudden the next day, all they're doing is sleeping. That's a sudden change in behavior that's not normal, and that's your clue to be like, hey, something's not right. I think the biggest thing is being a cat owner, and I do have four cats myself, is that these changes can be really subtle, but you as a cat owner will pick up on them because you live with them every day. The Munch, he's one of my cats. He's like that's my child. I don't have kids. He's like, oh my god, is this cat like my soulmate? He has so many little different behaviors, and I'm going to tell you, I notice when something's like off. From where he likes to sleep during the day to what time he knows to wait for me when I get home. To does he go to the bathroom with me? Because I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom by myself ever at home. And if I do, like I usually go and check on him, and that's such a subtle thing, right? But these subtle changes in behavior are what they do to tell us. These cats are so good at hiding their diseases and hiding their issues. And they don't have like a therapist on speed dial, right? They can't just be like, I'm gonna have a problem, I'm gonna call my therapist. No, they're gonna tell us that something's wrong by changing their behavior. And it's our job as their owners to sit here and say, hmm, you know, Kitty's not acting normal. Like, you usually hork your food down and you're just kind of picking at it. Whereas, usually you just gobble it all down. Or, hey, you usually, sleep with me at night and all of a sudden you're not sleeping with me. I mean, these are like small things, but your cat's telling you something and you have to listen.
What does my veterinarian need to know about my cat's behavior?
Everything. I want to know everything. Not just because I actually I love cats. I love dogs too. Don't get me wrong. I do love dogs. I have 3 dogs, 4 cats. It's fine. We're a whole zoo at my household. But cat behavior, there are some things that I'm trained to know what to look for and what to listen for when you're telling me the stories of what your cat's doing. I'm trained to pick up on these little nuances of cat behavior, and I can help you decode cats. We can decode what's going on in their little kitty cat brains. And together we can figure out, is there a problem or isn't there a problem? And if there is a problem, how do we fix it? And what if it's just behavioral, or what if it is medical? I'm going to help decode cats for you. That's why we're here. And I am super feline minded. If you've been in and you've been a client with me and you tell me you have a cat, 9 times out of 10, you will have heard a cat story from me because I have 4 of them. Endless entertainment. My husband's cat, Drago, he's kind of a turd bucket, but my other 3, they're my children. So I'm here to listen, and I'm also here to help.
How do I know if a sudden change in my cat's behavior is a problem?
Because it's a change. That's what we're talking about, right? So even a subtle change, if it's a deviation from their normal, something's wrong. Okay, let's use me as an example. So if you've been to this clinic and you've met me within 5 minutes, you're going to get a good sense of who I am as a human. Hell, you're watching this video right now, you're going to get a good sense for who I am. Like, I shoot from the hip, I don't have a filter, I'm pretty expressive, I tell stories, I talk with my hands. Okay, so my team. Okay, my team's like my family. Okay, well, they're work colleagues that I care deeply about. They know that I'm going to come in, and most days I'm always going to say good morning. On Mondays, I'm going to make a point of trying to ask everybody how their weekends were because I care, right? So if I come in and I'm quiet, that is a change, right? Immediately, my whole team knows, while they might not know what happened, they know something happened. Something might not be right. I'm stressed, I'm upset, I'm sad, something. So let's flip the script. Let's pretend that's your cat. Your cat that usually greets you with a little chirp when you get home, and then all of a sudden isn't chirping at you when you get home anymore. Or maybe your cat that used to wait for you when you get home, like my cat does, isn't waiting for you for a couple days. That's a change. So we've got to pick up on these things because you know, these subtle changes, they're all we get. These are the only warnings we get that something could be wrong, because cats will go from seemingly totally fine to not fine. And it's not that it happens so suddenly. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's sometimes their signs are so subtle as things are slowly going wrong or they're not feeling well, that until it's a major not feeling well, we're not going to notice it. So we've got to pay attention to these little changes, because if there is some sort of infection, if there's liver disease, pancreas disease, etc., maybe their appetite's just a little bit off for a week or two, but then all of a sudden, they're vomiting everything up they've eaten. And to us, it's going to feel like, oh my God, this just happened. But it hasn't. It's been slowly getting worse over time, and maybe we just haven't picked up on it. So that's why it's so important to recognize your cat's behavior and to call and make an appointment, or just call and talk to a vet. Be like, my cat's not eating normally. You know what my tech's going to tell you? Let's come in for an appointment. 100%. You know what my front desk is going to tell you? Let's come in for an appointment. You want to know why? We all have animals, and a lot of us have cats. And because of that, we know that these little subtle changes can be, the tip of the iceberg. They might be a big problem that maybe we can intervene sooner. And it's also so much cheaper to fix something before it's blown up in our face. Way cheaper to fix something like that than to wait until we're so sick we have to be hospitalized and everything else.
How do I know if things like kneading and hunting are normal behaviors in my cat?
Because they're cats. That's totally normal. So kneading, that's like you're kneading bread. I call it making biscuits. Okay, so making biscuits. This is making biscuits. Like my cat Lizzo, who has her closet home. I trim her nails, but she has murder biscuits because her nails get so long so fast, and so it's like, oh my God, I'm getting kneaded by needles. That's totally normal. That's your cat telling you they're happy. Hunting, they're cats. The hunting behavior, that's play. It's normal. We have to think that cats were domesticated a much shorter time span. Dogs way long time ago got domesticated. Cats, it's been a long time, right? But not as long as dogs. So they still maintain a lot of these instincts. So that's totally normal.
How do I assess whether a change in my cat's behavior means they're sick?
I think that, through the rest of the video that you've been watching, I think that any change in a cat's behavior, if it's sustained, is telling you there's a problem. So does that mean I'm going to panic if the munch doesn't come greet me at the door tonight? No. Because usually if he's not at the door, he's around the hall and he's waiting for me. And he's like, no, 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 and he walks with me. Am I going to start to think something's wrong if I get home and he's not out and about looking for me or interacting with me? Yeah, my little cat owner warning bells, along with my veterinarian warning bells, are going to start to tingle a little bit. If it happens 2 days in a row, something's definitely up. And so I'm also a helicopter mama when it comes to being a pet parent or a cat owner. And that's probably because I don't have kids, and that's okay. Some of you are watching this have busy lives. That's okay. But for me, I have a very low threshold for when to be worried. So for me, if it's going on for more than like a day, and this isn't like for vomiting, okay? If your cat's like vomiting and like 3 or 4 times in one day, that's a problem. Please don't wait 2 days to call. But if like it's subtle, like maybe we're not as hungry, if the next day our appetite's back, then I'm not going to worry about it. So that's kind of my threshold for when to come in or not. And if you're ever in doubt, give us a call. That's why we're here, right? You can call our clinic, you can call another clinic, doesn't matter who you call somebody. There's a whole reason why we're all in this profession, and we're here to help you. You guys aren't alone in this. We're here. So I hope this helped answer some of your questions. Clearly, you're getting the vibe that I'm like a cat person. And that's totally true. Love dogs, but I definitely have a really big affinity for cats. So if you're here, you're in good kitty cat hands. So give us a call and make an appointment. Thanks, guys.